in first warning weather.
All right, David, thank you. Tax policy can be a little tricky to understand for some Texans. More than 80% of Texas voters in the November election approved more than $18 billion in property tax cuts. It's the focus of Jess Huff's latest story in the Texas Tribune, and looking at the recent voter-approved tax cuts and really what that means for your mortgage. So Jess is with us this afternoon. Thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
So first, let's talk about who will see those property taxes drop, when, and really by how much.
Well, the first easiest question is when. It should be already kind of hitting. I believe they should have been added to, or they should have been considered as the latest tax bills were sent out. They'll primarily impact people whose properties are their primary residence. So people who have multiple properties might see compression, but the homestead exemptions are going to be where they see the real savings. Yeah, and then renters really probably won't benefit too much from this one just because it's not really impacting those types of properties.
And then have tax offices accounted for these changes?
A lot of them have. It was not required by law that they do, and so there are some counties that may not have. The only way to really find that out is to call your tax office yourself, but a lot of counties were encouraged to include it in this year.
And then will recent lawsuits that challenge really those election results, will that delay any rollout of the tax cuts?
Not from what I understand. They're still being debated in court, and lawyers believe that, or legal experts, I should say, believe that the cases will be dismissed, but whether it's because of on their merits or because of complaints about how they were filed. However, people shouldn't expect to see any problems.
And then lastly, Jess, what do forecasters say about the tax cuts and how it relates to housing affordability?
Yeah, so experts, at least in East Texas, believe that this will be a benefit for housing affordability. There are a number of Texans who are priced out of their homes simply because they cannot afford the taxes, or they're prevented from being able to even access a loan because the taxes take it just up over that threshold that they can afford. So they expect people will have a better chance of being able to get into a home.
Okay, Jess Huff from Texas Tribune, thank you so much for being with us this afternoon.
Yeah, thank you.
Coming up now, the way you could buy a car